All right. Hi, good evening, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. My name is Abhishek, and from the Exchange Manageability Infra team. I have my colleague, Aditya, who is from the EAC team as a co-presenter today. We're both very excited.
I can finish. Okay, I can finish.
Thanks, Anthony. So we're both very excited to be speaking to you today. In the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to take you through some of the upcoming releases, features in Exchange, both on the manageability infra side as well as on the EAC side. We are also going to talk to you about some of the stuff that would be deprecated in the coming months. So looking forward to talk to you about that as well. Just as a reminder, in case you have any questions while we are running through the session, please feel free to type them in the chat. We have our colleagues who would be responding to you there as well. So without further ado, let me walk you through the agenda. Okay, so we'll start with Exchange Online Manageability. I'll talk to you about the REST-based V3 commandlets that are coming soon. I'll give you a brief overview to start with. I'll take you through a small demo then that talks about the REST-based commandlets, how these are better than the RPS commandlets that we've been using thus far. I'll then quickly summarize some of the advantages of these REST-based commandlets to cement the understanding. And then we'll do the big announcement on the GA timelines for the V3 modules. Post that, we'll switch gears and then go to Exchange Admin Center. Two key messages to talk through there. One would be on the new EAC, some of the upcoming features. You can see the demos that Aditya has for you. And then we'll talk about the worldwide deprecation plan for Classic EAC. All right, so let's jump right in then. So before I give you a brief intro about what this V3 module is all about, I wanted to take you through, or rather touch upon a little bit of history on how these modules started and where we are today and why we are more importantly here. So we started with V1 commandlets. So this was the original way of connecting to Exchange Online. These were included with PowerShell, so you need not have to download any module additionally to use them. However, a major drawback with this was that it did not support modern auth. So this was V1. In order to fix this auth problem, what we launched next was called V1 with MFA. So as the name suggests, this was all the V1 commandlets, but it also supported MFA, multi-factor authentication. Now, after this, a few years later, the biggest release that came was called the V2 module that most of you are familiar with and have been using quite extensively. This V2 module has all the RPS commandlets. This supports MFA, and it had 9 REST-based commandlets that had the EXO prefix to them. For example, a commandlet equivalent of get mailbox was called get EXO mailbox. So this was REST-based commandlet. So there were 9 get commandlets which had the prefix EXO with them, and this was launched in V2. The feedback for these 9 commandlets was amazing, based on performance, security, reliability, and so on and so forth. So, and the reception that this garnered, we thought that there was this should be available in all the RPS commandlets as well. So for the next big release, for the next big iteration, which was the V3.
I'm so sorry. Abhishek, I think the slide is not visible to our people. Is the slide visible? Is the content visible to all of you? Can someone confirm? I think we should reshare.
I'm only seeing a heading.
Yeah,
No
heading,
other
that's it.
content.
No pictures or
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes. So let me another couple of lines, and then you should be able to see the introduction to this.
Sure.
Perfect. Right. So what we wanted to do for V3 was take all the good things from V2, the security, the performance, the reliability, and extend it to all the RPS commandlets, right? So this was the idea behind V3. So now what is this V3 module? So this will be the next big release, the next GA version. This will have all the REST equivalents of the RPS commandlets that you use today. And it will also have the same signature as the RPS version of the commandlets. What that means is today you have the get mailbox commandlet in RPS, the V2 module. It will be still get mailbox in the V3 module, just that it will be REST based. Um, as our philosophy to continue the good things about the EXO commandlets that we had last time, this will also be secure, reliable, and performant as these are REST based. And there's a slight change here. So vis-a-vis the EXO commandlets. So these commandlets, the V3 ones, they're identical, like I mentioned, to the RPS commandlets. So your scripts don't need to change. You can just use them as is once you start using the V3 module. This supports modern auth inherently. And some of you may have been using the preview version for this, which has been available now for about 6 months. This was called the V206 preview, and I think currently we are at preview 8. So some of you may have already used this the preview version for this. So this is a brief intro on what this module is all about. What this does not have yet is a couple of things. So the commandlets for security and compliance PowerShell, or the commandlets for standalone EOP, Exchange Online Protection, still have only their RPS version available. The REST version should be available in the subsequent releases. So after the GA, if you were to download the V3 module and start using it, you would have all REST equivalents of Exchange Online commandlets, plus security and compliance PowerShell commandlets on RPS, and Exchange Online PowerShell commandlets, Exchange Online Protection PowerShell commandlets on RPS. So with that out of the way now, let me quickly take you through a small video on what are the advantages of V3 module and how does it fare against the REST-based commandlets. The video also has an audio, so in case you can't hear the audio, do let me know. I'll replay the video again. Let's go. Hi, let's look at a comparison between RPS and the V3 module. We have two connections to EXO here. On the left is one using remote PowerShell session, and on the right, we have the new REST-based V3 module connection. We can see that the REST-based connection completes much faster than RPS. Based on our tests, we saw a 58% faster execution for 90th percentile and a 25% faster execution at 95th percentile for Connect Exchange Online. The REST-based connection supports both OAuth and CERT-based auth natively. Also, it does not require WinRM basic auth to be enabled on the client, which, when using RPS, is a major security vulnerability. For AD-based identity and bulk commandlets, the execution time of get commandlets has been reduced vis-a-vis RPS. This is due to the initialization time saved by executing PowerShell framework when running the commands. As you observe here, the REST-based commands complete much faster. We ran our test on production tenants with less than 25,000 objects. On average, we saw a 44% faster execution speed for AD-based identity and bulk get commandlets. Here are the results for the top bulk AD commandlets. Now let's look at reliability. During bulk commandlet runs, if an RPS session breaks due to any transient exceptions, there is no way to resume execution from the point of failure. To fix this reliability issue, we've introduced the concept of pagination, wherein the total number of requested objects are broken down into smaller chunks called pages. A page can contain a maximum of 1,000 objects. Here, we are querying for 5,000 distribution group objects in both RPS and the V3 module. The V3 module running on the right makes 5 different page requests with different skip tokens and pagination markers. As we'll see here, in spite of making 5 requests, the V3 module is the first to get the 5,000 requested objects. Now let's see how the modules fare during transient errors. First, a client-side transient issue. To simulate this, we will restart the Wi-Fi during commandlet execution. Here, after the Wi-Fi interruption, the RPS session terminates immediately, whereas the V3 module continues to send subsequent page requests and completes the commandlet execution. Also, we can see that the V3 module got all the 5,000 distribution group objects, but the RPS could only get 1,000 objects before failing. Now, let's quickly look at a server-side transient error, the DC overload exception. This error can be fairly common, and whenever this happens, the RPS breaks. However, the V3 module keeps retrying and succeeds in getting the desired output. So this new V3 module provides better reliability, performance, and has significant security advantages over RPS. All right. So that was a quick demo on hi. That was a quick demo on how the RPS fares, or rather how the V3 module fares vis-a-vis RPS. And I hope that gives you some understanding of the advantages in action. Let me quickly summarize that for you. We'll go over the 4 pillars that we broadly spoke about in the video and touched upon at the start as well. First, security. So the V3 module uses modern auth inherently. And this inherent support of modern auth, it allows the tenant admins to turn off WinRM basic auth on the client machines. So this has been a long-standing ask from the customers to enable them to turn off WinRM basic auth on the client machines. So with these V3 commandlets now, as they're finally REST-based, you can turn this off. In terms of reliability, so in RPS currently, there is no mechanism to resume a retry from the point of failure. However, given this is stateless and this has inherent retries inbuilt, the V3 module handles transient failure with retries and gets you the output that that you wanted at the outset. This is a massive advantage over RPS, where you would not get any output vis-a-vis completing the request here in V3. In terms of performance, as you saw those numbers, most of the gains are established from not having to set up the PowerShell run space on the service. And you can see some of the performance numbers there that help you understand the extent of performance gains. In terms of functionality, so the last time we had REST-based commandlets, the 9 EXO commandlets that we had released, they were not at par with RPS functionality. However, the V3 commandlets, which are now REST-based, these are at functional parity with RPS and have same signature. So given that they have both the same signature as well as they can do exactly all the things that the RPS commandlets were doing, it makes switching over to this very, very seamless. And this comes up as an advantage as well. So that's in summary, a quick overview of how this is better than the RPS. Just as a reminder, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat and our colleagues would help answer that. All right, so now on to the big one. What are the timelines for GA? We will be making this readily available, or generally available rather, on 20th September with all Exchange commandlets as in the current RPS version. Why are we doing so at this point? Because in the past 3 months or 4 months, we've seen exponential growth. So to give you a sense of the numbers, currently we are at 240 million requests per month via the preview model, on the preview model. We have about 50 odd tenants with more than 1 million traffic every month. And we have seen growth, in terms exponential growth since May. in all these different metrics. The reason we've picked up May here is because we made all the we made all the commandlets available in the preview version in May, and that's when the adoption started to see growth. We've been seeing very positive customer feedback on all the fronts. So on performance, reliability, and security, we were quite sure of the outcome, but given the signature remains the same, we have seen great ease of adoption in terms of the customer feedback that we've received. So with all of that, we're looking to do this GA again, to reiterate, on September 20th with all the Exchange Online commandlets available as in the current RPS version. What you will not get in REST is the security and compliance PowerShell and standalone EOP commandlets. These still would come with the RPS versions. The REST equivalents of all these commandlets for both security and SNC and EOP both should be available in the upcoming releases later. So that's on the manageability side of things. Hope you're excited as we are about the upcoming GA of these REST-based, more secure and performant and reliable commandlets. So I'll pass it on to Aditya now to take you through the ESE Exchange Admin side of the story. Thanks.
Thank you, Abhishek. Hi, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. If you have any questions on the manageability side, please feel free to drop into the chat. Let me share my screen. Give me 1 minute and we'll just check if the audio is also good to all of you or not. Yeah, let me know if this screen is visible. Can you confirm?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Great, great. Okay. So hi, everyone. I am Aditya. I am the PM for Exchange Admin Center. I think Abhishek has talked about some exciting things on the manageability side. And I have 2 agenda items, and I'll take about 20-25 minutes to talk about them. We will start with what we have done in the last 8 to 10 months. I have 5 or 6 demos to show to all of you of what we have done and all the feedbacks that we have received from our customers. We are working on it, as you will see in the demos. At the same time, we will also talk about the updated classic EAC deprecation timelines, which I know everyone wants to understand a little more. There are feature parity concerns and there are some more concerns of our customers, which we will also talk about. And of course, after that, we will be open to questions. Yeah, so let me get started. So new Exchange Admin Center, it has become the default home for all the IT admins across all customer segments, whether it is VSB, SMB, enterprise customers, and so on, right? The good thing is that the MAU growth that we have seen in the last 1 year is about 250%. The last monthly active user that we had in new EAC is 1.5 million, and that's a great jump from where we were 1 year back. This is something which is a good signal for our team, the product as well, because people are adopting to new EAC. It's just not the adoption, of course. People are very satisfied as well. I know there are concerns and we will talk about that, but the numbers, the numbers that we have gotten from the customer satisfaction index is a +10 increase in last 6 months, and that's another good green signal for us that new EAC is being loved by our customers. Yes, there are concerns, but before we go there, let me talk about what we have done in the last 8 to 10 months. And I'll start sharing some demos with you. Let me know if the sound is not audible. But yeah, the first thing, we try to reach out to all of you through the feedback that we receive. We try to reply to each and every customer. Sometimes the reply fails because of some issues on the email client side. But whatever we have heard from our customers, there were 3 things that were on top of customers' mind. The one thing was they wanted dark mode, and this request has been coming for last 2 years. This was the most requested customer ask in the OCV, and that is now in new EAC. Let me show you what the dark mode is and why it was such a big ask and why people are loving this. Let me share the video.
One long-standing request from many admins is a dark mode view for the new Exchange Admin Center. This is now publicly available. To choose dark mode, go to any page in the EAC, click on the dark mode button, and that's it. The screen will refresh once, and the Admin Center will go all dark. You can easily switch between dark and light mode with your preference saved.
Right. So after dark mode, the second concern that every admin has, they really want to work in EAC day in day out, and they want the portal to be performant and reliable. There were 2-3 concerns that our customers had. Once they were coming to the top 4-5 pages of ours, for example, mailbox, resource, contacts, and so on, the list loading was taking a lot of time. There was some UX issue on the search as well. And the search query was also taking more time than expected. We have worked on it. We have resolved those issues. Let me show you the demo of the performance enhancements that we have worked on. The most important concern our enterprise customers had was performance of top pages in new EAC, especially mailboxes. We have gotten the page load time, that is PLT, to less than 2 seconds now for mailboxes, resources, and contacts. Let us show you the current enhanced experience of mailboxes. This initial list of mailboxes was taking more than 30 seconds to load previously, but it is less than 2 seconds now. Not only this, the page load time for search and filter is also at par. Searching for a mailbox named Deborah gives the results very quickly. We also fixed the UX issue with search, which was blocking our admins and keeping them away from getting the search results. This will definitely make our admins happy. Okay, so once we started working on performance, the third thing that our customers were looking for, and we completely understand that a lot of you are used to classic EAC designs, and that's why when people were shifting to new EAC, they were finding the new EAC design a little less intuitive. What we have done now is for mailboxes, contacts, and resources, the redesign of these 3 pages is complete. What we have done is we have taken inspiration from the old habits, the old EAC. We have tried to put more pivots in mailbox, resource, and contacts. The mailbox and contacts is already in production, and the resources will also, the resource redesign will also soon be there with all of us. Let me show you how we were and what we are trying to do with these 3 pages. The new portal being non-intuitive design-wise was the second important concern that our admins had. When we spoke to more of these customers, we understood that the old EAC pivot design was something that the admins have gotten very familiar with. We are working on new pivot design for mailboxes, resources, and contacts. For example, in the new EAC, the current mailbox pivot design has 2 subtabs, one being mailbox and the other being account. The new design that we are working on will have 5 different pivots: general, organization, delegation, mailbox, which talks about mail flow settings and mailbox policies, and others. This design is very close to classic EAC design, and admins are more familiar with it. Not only this, with this design, we are also providing shortcuts for the top 3 features like hide mailbox, email forwarding, and send on behalf. This is going to resolve the concern of more number of clicks that new EAC had to incur. So while working on performance enhancements, the UX redesign, and of course, getting dark mode to all our admins, there is one more thing that we are going to work on in future, which is going to give power to our customers a little more. For example, I don't have the demo of it, but it's a work in progress. What we are trying to do is, as you saw in mailboxes, there are 5 pivots, right? But it's still possible that a lot of admins want some functions to be on top of the list, whenever they come to the portal. So we are also working on a pinning feature so that you can create a pivot of your own of all the shortcuts that you want on top of every mailbox that you have, every resource mailbox that you have, or every mail user or mail contact that you have. Going to the new value adds. Now, when we started migrating the customers from old EAC to new EAC, right? Old habits definitely die hard. And what we understood is that people are trying to find and discover features which are already in new EAC, but they were not able to find it for some reason. And that's why we invested in a feature called Global Search, which you can see on top of Exchange Admin Center. I have a demo for it. It is helping our admins navigate within the portal, discover the features within the portal, and we are also now building on top of it so that you can even type in some functions and take actions from the global search itself. Before I jump to the demo, I also want to say that we do understand that there were some features from old EAC that have moved out of new EAC. Maybe they are in MS Purview, maybe they are in Compliance Admin Center. So for that also, this global search is working. There are some scenarios that are still a work in progress, but for example, say if you want to find where is spam filter, you can actually do that search from EAC and we will help you navigate to the new home of spam filter. Here's the demo.
Welcome to the Exchange Admin Center. Let us take you through our new value addition to the portal, Global Search. Global Search will help our users with easy search and navigation throughout the portal, which is one of the top active concern of our customers. If an admin searches for a name of the mailbox from this very home page, we will show the relevant results, and on clicking on any of the results, we will open the flyout where the user can take bunch of actions. Let us show how admins can search for any other relevant thing as well. From the very home page or wherever the user is, they will be able to search and perform actions in other parts of the portal.
Okay, so the last demo that I have for all of you is tenant switcher. This is a feature that increases efficiency in the multi-tenant organization scenarios. I will not talk about it a lot because a lot of you have used it in M365 Admin Center portal already, but here's the demo. I think it is very self-explanatory. That's the new feature that we worked on in last 6 months.
For multi-tenant organizations, we now have a feature, Tenant Switcher, through which partners can choose the customer they want to manage from the new EAC itself. Currently, the partners have to go to Microsoft Partner Center, choose the customer that they want to manage. For example, let's say I want to manage Mira's Dental Office Exchange Admin Center. I come here, I'll click on the Exchange link, and it will take me to the Exchange interface of Mira's Dental Office. If the partner wants to manage another customer, they will currently have to go to Microsoft Partner Center and choose another customer. But with the feature Tenant Switcher, you just have to click on this icon, search for the tenant or the customer that you want to manage. For example, say Antonio. You click on Antonio and that's it. We will take you to the Exchange interface of Antonio.
All right. So we talked about the performance work that we have done, the global search, tenant switcher, dark mode, and so on. Now, let me take you through the updated timelines of classic EAC worldwide deprecation. I hope the audio was audible. The video was, of course, audible to all of you. Going to classic EAC WW deprecation. We understand that the blog that we posted an year back had the WW deprecation timelines of September 2022. The new updated deprecation timelines for classic EAC worldwide deprecation is January 2023. There is soon going to be an updated blog about this. It will come in September itself. Now, once people started coming to new EAC, the major concern that they had was feature parity. They were concerned about if XYZ feature is going to come from old EAC to new EAC or not. 3-4 things that were on top of our customers' mind. One was they were not able to manage mobile devices. They were not able to wipe data, the another function that was related to mobile device management. I have a good news for all of you. The MDM is partially already available in new EAC, and the remaining work, which allows you to wipe data, allow you to block the devices and so on, that is something that is a work in progress, and we are targeting the end of the month to get the MDM feature to all of you in the production environment. The second major concern on feature parity was migration from Exchange Online. So we had migration to Exchange Online feature already, but the offboarding, which is migration from Exchange Online, was a feature that was still pending on us. That feature was released a week back, and you can use migration from Exchange Online as well going forward. The third thing that was on people's mind was retention policy, retention tags, and journal rules. And one of the customers already asked me in the chat that, where are they moving and when they are moving. Another good news on that front, all these 3 features, retention tags, retention policy, and journal rules, they have been moved to MS Purview, which is another admin center. What we will do is we will do 2 things. In the updated Classic EAC worldwide deprecation blog, I will mention all these things as well, so that wider audience gets to know about it. There is another feature, there is another page that we have in new EAC called Other Features, which talks about the remaining features that we have. We will update the navigational links there as well, so that even if you are in new EAC, we will help you navigate to these 3 features as well. We will also work on the global search feature that we showed you just now, so that even if you say write retention tags in the global search, we will still take you to that admin center, which is MS Purview. Finally, there are some concerns on recipient management parity as well. Maybe you talk about resources contacts. There is custom attribute that is still not yet available there. The custom attribute design is also not liked by our customers that much in mailboxes. We are working on those as well, is what I wanted to let you know at the very start. Okay, so WW deprecation timeline. We announced the deprecation in September 2021. We have already deprecated a few features. About 35 to 40% of the old EAC portal is already deprecated. We went ahead, we deprecated advanced threat features, protection features, the mail flow features like message trace, remote domains, accepted domains. They have all been deprecated already. We are resolving and have resolved a lot of feature parity concerns of our customers. In October 2022, we will start deprecating the recipient management, the migration tab, and also rules. I also wanted to tell you, I just forgot, the transport rules new design is also now available to our users in new EAC. It is still in preview, but by the end of the month, the transport rules new design will be available to all of you. Anyway, so coming on to the deprecation. Next month, we will start deprecating the recipient management features, migration features, and also transport rules. And then in a couple of months from there, we will deprecate the remaining features, for example, retention, journal rules, data loss prevention policies, admin roles, and so on. And finally, once we are able to provide the feature parity to our customers, whether it is a new EAC or it is in some other admin center, we will be able to deprecate Classic EAC by January 2023. So I really request, I know that a lot of people are already using new EAC, but in case you still have not used new EAC, please start using it, because that's the new home for Exchange Admin Center folks. And the Classic EAC will get deprecated in 4 months from now. Of course, when Classic EAC will deprecate, the new EAC becomes the default portal for all of our worldwide customers. I know that there must be some questions on the chat. Let me start answering them as well. But here's the quick summary of what we talked about in this session. Abhishek talked about Exchange Online, PowerShell. The new V3 module is REST-based. It has its own advantages. It is more secure, it's reliable and performant vis-a-vis the RPS commandlets. It will be generally available from 28th September 2022. That's a great news right there. And the good thing, you don't need to modify scripts to adopt to these new commandlets because the functionalities and the commandlet names remain same. On the EAC, it has already become the default home for a lot of our admins. 1.5 million is the last month's MAU. It, of course, provides numerous exciting value additions like dark mode and tenant switcher. We are hoping to understand from all of you what remaining problems you have so that we can work on it and help you with that seamless transition between classic EAC and new EAC. The new updated timelines for classic EAC deprecation is January 2023. Abhishek, were you saying something in the middle? Okay.
No.
So yeah, sure. So we are open to questions. There is this QR. I think Abhishek must have posted this QR already, or the MS form link as well. There are some 10 to 12, I think 15 questions, yes, which we really want you to fill for us because it will help us understand what you want more from us on the EAC front, on the PowerShell front, and also the difficulties that you are facing in adopting to the new versions of these products. Thank you. We are open to questions if we have. Any questions from customers? I will, of course, read through all the comments, and if there are any questions that need answer on the EAC front and my team has not answered them yet, I'll definitely be answering them.
Aditya, I wanted
Okay.
to mention one. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
Nino.
wanted to mention one thing that a couple of people upvoted, that the reload of EAC after estimated 10 minutes of inactivity is kind of a problematic, that basically the session expires so quickly.
Yes, yeah, Nino, thank you for pointing that out. I really want to tell all the admins, we call it a page refresh issue at our end. We are working on it. We will resolve it by the end of this month. We know that it is creating concerns in admins' mind, but we are on top of it and we are resolving it as we speak. Anything else, Nino, in the chat? You might have gone through those questions already.
I mean, there was a question about, okay, the new EAC, is it coming on premises or is this Exchange Online only? I don't think this was answered.
The new EAC we are talking about is only Exchange Online, Nino. Yeah. Let me answer all the questions in the chat window anyway. Cool. Abhishek, do you want to add anything on top? Yes, Erickson, Hannah, somebody raised their hands.
About the EAC and the shortcuts to I see
we can really not hear you very, very quietly. Could you please?
Oh, sorry. Better now.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Better.
Yeah, the shortcuts to most used commands. I see hide mailbox, email forwarding, send on behalf. And in my organization, that is really commands that are never used. We don't allow using email forwarding because of data privacy reasons. Is there a way to get or have a feature request to have those so you can customize that? Because we will probably get in a lot of data privacy issues because we have a very big and decentralized mailbox administration, as we are based in across the time zones in the whole world. And there will probably be people setting up email forwarding, even if they are not supposed to, and I can't really remove their permissions to do that. So
okay. Yeah, thanks for the question, Hannah. We definitely understand that, from the data, the top 3 features are those, but we definitely understand that for different organizations, there could be different, shortcuts that they need. And as I told you, when I was talking about the redesign of the mailbox, resource and contacts page, we are working on a new pivot itself. I will not be able to share the timelines with you right now, but there is going to be a new pivot apart from the 5 pivots that we have already given, and we will let the admins pin the things that they usually use, right? So for example, in your organization, there are ABC features that you use. You can pin it in that, and you don't even have to go to different pivots later, right? Because those are the 3 features that you will be mostly using anyway. So that's something that we have already worked on, but it requires some work from our team side. Hopefully, we will get that, customization option to you, Hannah, very soon.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice.
Yes, thank you. Joseph, I see your hand. Let me just, Chris, Ferrini, and Joseph.
Okay.
Chris, do you want to go? Yeah.
Go, Chris.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, just a quick question. My help desk admins have some basic rights within Exchange to make minor changes to the mailbox settings, but they are very green for the most part and are very shy when it comes to using PowerShell. There are, over the course of years, I've been working with Exchange Online, more and more features are being pushed to being set by PowerShell command only and being removed from the UI. Is there any desire or is there any efforts to start moving some of those features back? I apologize, I can't think of anything off the top of my head at the moment, but is there any more design to bring some of those features back into the EAC?
Okay, thank you for the question, Chris. I can get back to you separately to understand more of those scenarios. But if you make a request that, okay, this feature was never available in the UX, right? And the only way you were able to do it was through PowerShell. We would love to know that, Chris. And if it makes business case, we'll definitely try to prioritize that. But let me get more clarity from you. I will just note down your email and I'll connect with you over Teams if that is all right.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Joseph, I see your hand raised as well.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. So my question is similar to Chris. A lot of times we find, and first of all, thanks for all your work. Appreciate it. Thanks for the meeting. A lot of the times the operational teams are left behind because of the discrepancy between the EAC on-prem and in hybrid environments. I find that there is always a disconnect, and you're absolutely right, stuff is being broken out. For example, Sendos on-prem in a hybrid environment, you have to use PowerShell. So yeah, there's like I feel like my question was, why don't we keep the classic around until the next Exchange version, right? Like, why would you have to depreciate, and your staggered depreciation also confuses the operations teams, because we have people that don't know how to use PowerShell and we write procedures how to do it, and this changes constantly. It's just confusing for junior IT that is going through the ranks. So there's something that I wanted to bring up, the discrepancy between these interfaces, to stay more consistent in the future, that it's just more common or a question at the same time. Thanks.
Okay, so Joseph, just for my understanding, you are saying that there is a design discrepancy between the EAC on-prem and the new EAC, which is Exchange Online that we spoke about. Is that the question, and that's the worry point for you?
Yes, most especially if you have multiple hybrids and multiple Exchange servers, and is that tasks are different. They're not the same. They're so you're having a separate interfaces. I wonder, why don't we keep the same interface until the new Exchange version is out, right? Sort of thing. Why do we have to depreciate it now in January?
Okay. Okay, Joseph, let me get back to you on this. It's definitely a question that needs an answer. But let me just note down your email ID and let me reach out to you over Teams. Will that be all right?
Sure, appreciate it.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Joseph. Brian.
Oh, hi. I'm not sure this is necessarily related to this new admin center, but one of the things that I I'd like to see is when distribution list is deleted, there is no way to recover that. Like, you can recover Office 365 group and any Azure objects. Just wondering if that's something you are thinking of, or just to be able to recover. Just some accidents do happen, and some of them have quite a large memberships. So just some feedback on that.
Okay. Okay, feedback well taken, Brian. Just for my understanding, you are saying that the DLs, the distribution lists, if they get deleted, there is no way to recover them. But you are saying that, say, M365 groups or other kinds of groups, you do have that option. Is that what you are trying to say, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. I'll get back to you, Brian, for sure. There is no roadmap item to work on that for sure, that I can say and right now. But let me talk to you. Let me understand the scenario a little better. And if it makes business case, as I said, we will of course try to help our customers more and more if we can.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback, Brian. Troy. Over to you.
Yeah, just one quick question there. In the new EAS, where are the migration endpoints in the event you need to update the account's password that's being used? In the classic side of the world, it's under recipients, and then over under migration. And then if you click on the ellipses, you can see the migration endpoints there. I mean, I could use some Google Foo, but I was just curious if you know that one off the top of your head.
Yes, Troy. So another good news, Troy. If you want to update the migration endpoint, right? So currently the design that we had in new EAC was that you start creating a new batch, and only then we were allowing the admins to update the endpoint details, right? But in classic EAC, there was a complete separate feature that, okay, you just want to update the endpoints. That's all you want to do. You don't want to start the migration right now. You don't want to do anything on the migration per se. So admins were allowed to do that as well. I have an update for you. I forgot. Troy. Yes, Troy. So I have an update for you. That feature is also being worked upon, Troy. And I don't have the timeline on top of my mind right now, but it will be available in a couple of months for sure, Troy. So you will be able to create new endpoints or update the settings of endpoints without even starting a new batch like you used to do in classic EAC, Troy. Thank you. Any other question that we have? And do we have more time? There are 2 more sessions for tomorrow. There is a roundtable discussion. There is an Ask the Expert session. Abhishek and I will be there. My team, Abhishek team, will be also there from the engineering side as well. And we really hope to see you there so that we can answer more of your questions. We can know all of you better, and we can try to understand what else we need to work on from the product perspective so that we can make your experience more delightful. So we hope to see you in those 2 sessions as well. There will be nothing to present there, but we can have great discussions and understand the problems the admins are facing. Abhishek, you want to add something before we conclude the meeting?
Yeah, just to re-emphasize that, thank you all for attending this and your questions. We look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow in the sessions.
Yeah. And there is a feedback form that we have shared with you. There is a QR link. It will hardly take 3-4 minutes. Please fill it. It will definitely give us more insights of what our customers are looking for. Yeah. Thank you. Over to you. Over to you, Anthony.
Yes, I think you just about covered it.
Yes.
The recording will be available publicly after the session, and I hope everybody has a lovely day.
Thank you, everyone. This was really great. Thank you for attending the session.